Good morning, Lourdes.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Terrific. Very well.
Okay, great. So today's Thursday, our Q&A. I'm just going to add our question. So, why do I feel so drained after family gatherings?
Yeah. Emotional exhaustion often comes from masking your true self or absorbing others' negative energy. As Carl Jung suggests, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. And prioritizing self-care before and after gatherings and allow yourself to recharge by engaging in activities that nurture your spirit.
Right. And, feeling drained after family gatherings is a common experience, often rooted in emotional labor, unexpected expectations, unmet expectations, and the intricate dance of family dynamics. But here's the thing, you're not alone in this. A lot of people feel this. And more importantly, you don't have to accept it as the norm because there are people that don't feel fatigued after the family gathering.
Right. And so it's important to be aware of and acknowledge the invisible weight of emotional labor, right? If you're setting out to, your gathering, and as the day unfolds and you're finding yourself mediating tense moments, accommodating other people's needs, suppressing your own emotions just to keep the peace, then you're working from the perspective of, I have to handle and manage other people's emotions to keep the peace. But that emotional labor is really draining, and it takes a toll. So, if you have these unmet expectations, these pressures, all families are complex and with family histories, it's no wonder that you come away feeling drained. Mm-hmm. But it's important to reframe by recognizing that your role is not to fix everything for everyone. Instead, you're allowed to focus on contributing what feels authentic and sustainable for you. And also to protect and reclaim your energy. So instead of, being weighed down by other people's expectations and, difficult conversations and personalities and all of that, allow yourself to take a break. And maybe just excuse yourself, letting people know, hey, I need a moment to recharge, or let's talk about something lighter, or I'm feeling drained. Can we take a break? Right. And it's expressing that you value the relationship, but perhaps you're finding the topic overwhelming, and, invite them to move on for now. And so this can help you to feel less overwhelmed and less drained by factoring in protecting your own, emotions and energy.
Right. And even if you make an effort to apply these things and these boundaries, you still might walk away with some fatigue and the negative emotions, frustration or resentment. They can weigh you down, but they don't have to linger. If things don't go as well as planned in the gathering, pause and take a step away and check in with yourself. Acknowledge. It's always important to acknowledge and validate your emotions and your feelings without any judgment. Practice, being kind to yourself, and focus on what you can control, because how you choose to engage is very important. And remember, you're in charge of you. You're in charge of how you engage and what you say, don't say when you move away. And, if you feel, for instance, if you have a triggering thought of why do I always feel exhausted after this, you can reframe the thought. And it's always important to think about how to reframe these negative thoughts, not just in family occasions or gatherings, but everywhere. When you have a negative thought, and try to reframe it. And for this, again, if you feel exhausted after it, it's okay for you to reframe it. It's okay to need rest after an intense interaction. And you can respond with action, plan a comforting self-care ritual post-gathering. Or if you're triggered, you feel like the family gathering that they didn't understand you, or you feel like the thought is they don't understand me, you reframe that thought. Again, they might not understand me, but I can express my needs. It's important that I understand myself. And again, respond with some action. Calmly share, I need a little space to recharge. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be very subtle in taking back your power.
Yeah, absolutely. It does not need to be dramatic. But
simple words.
But also, remind yourself to treat yourself with compassion, right? Be kind to yourself. Don't go into that harsh inner critic mode. Don't get into that, self-attacking. Acknowledge that you did the best that you could. It's likely that, as you're being more mindful, as you're practicing engaging with these types of tools, that you probably did better than last time. Well,
Right.
the last holiday gathering. And so choose to acknowledge the fact that you did your best, and that next time you're going to do it even better. And so treat yourself with the kindness and compassion that you would offer to a friend.
Right. Well stated. But ultimately, feeling drained isn't a reflection of failure, right? It's a sign of overextension. Okay. And so take that in and know that your energy is finite. It's a precious resource, and guarding it is an act of self-respect and self-love.
Right. So, as you navigate the next family gathering, remember that you don't have to fix everything. You don't have to meet everyone's expectations or suppress your own needs to keep the peace. By setting these boundaries, reframing your mindset, and allowing yourself time to recharge, you can show up authentically and leave with your well-being intact.
Right. Well said. Well said.
Well, I think that covers it for today. And as I always say, if anyone listening is in need of support, someone to speak with, please reach out to Maria and I. We are here to help.
Thank you, everyone.